This and all episodes of the podcast have been brought to you by our generous patrons over at Patreon, the DayZ podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about how you can support the show each week, then please click the link in the description down below to find out more information about Patreon, the DayZ podcast. Thank you for your support. And once again, as always, folks, a big shout out to our supporters on patreon.com, the DayZ podcast. Our $10 supporters, Scale Speeder Gaming and Dick Donovan. Thank you so much, guys. Your support is really appreciated. And a massive shout out to our $25 supporter, Jake Snow. I don't know why you do it, mate, but we can't thank you enough for your support for the DayZ podcast. All the best, folks, and enjoy the show. And we are here with episode 56, and I finally turned the audio on for everyone. We are joined by Marks once again. How you doing, buddy?
Wonderful. Hope you're all doing well.
Awesome. And tonight we are joined by two guests. Firstly, we have Kaffeina, modder and map maker extraordinaire. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine.
Good to have you on, mate. And finally, after my screw up with the direct messages with Bestius, we finally have the man, the myth, the legend himself from the Mini DayZ team. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing great, guys. Thanks for the invite.
My apologies for last week, mate. I should have seen when you said the Sunday. It does cause a bit of confusion because it's Sunday morning for me, yeah. Saturday night for the rest of the normal world. You know, us Aussies being in the bloody future and all, and yeah.
Yeah, it's all good, mate. I came prepared. I got the webcam, you know, in the extra week, so that's something.
I was saying before we started the show, everyone, it sucks when the guests are better looking than the host. So, yeah, it's a hazard of this job, isn't it, Marks?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Now, we're going to start off with Kaffeina, because Kaffeina's only got about half an hour or so before has to jump off. Mate, can you explain to everyone how yours and I's conversation started and why I've got you on the show tonight?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty funny story, actually, because one of your admins, Foxypote, I normally I use some of my days kind of looking over the DayZ modder Discord. There's a lot of people looking for stuff all the time, right? And I kind of noticed him making a message out to people saying that he was looking for like a spatial design mod that could turn the north point of Chernarus into a snow map. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm building this right now. So he was kind of like, it's not like a concealed idea, but I wanted to do this like a first move on it. So I actually contacted him and was like, hey, I'm actually building this, and kind of wanted to him, kind of like stop that process so I could kind of finish it off without him coming first with some other models. So it's actually how I got on the show, because I was actually thinking of contacting you guys about that, just as a showcase, I'm not sure if you checked it out, actually.
I did. I haven't checked out the actual map in game, but the screenshots you sent through were bloody awesome. So yeah, the premise being the conversation you and I were having was these custom-made maps for like the deathmatch service.
Yeah, that's true. My North Point development map is actually gotten on hold for now because. I always wanted to build like something bigger than that, and I think like the size of mapping is the main issue. Like there's so much stuff you have to go over, so it's kind of like hard to comprehend all of the stuff, like making the satellite image, the mask, putting everything into the game. Takes a lot of time, So I kind of went with like deathmatching instead for a time being. So I had some breakthroughs with it, so I'm actually going back to bigger maps.
Yep.
I have like one coming up pretty soon that I'm going to announce. I don't have like I have project name, but it's still a little bit secret at the moment. But
we like secrets, especially when people drop exclusives here, don't we, Marks?
Yeah, we do. We do for sure.
But yeah, I just showed a couple of the screenshots you sent through to me. If you've got anything else that you want to share, just bring it up on your screen and share it, so the stream can see it as well. But yeah, it's I love the idea, Marks, because one of the problems, as a lot of people are aware, when you get so many players in one small section of a massive map, it really affects the impact of the server. And whether you love them or hate them, deathmatch servers are, in my opinion, they're a good thing for the game, because DayZ is a very cruel and unforgiving game, and when you're still learning the PvP mechanics of the game, to spend all that time getting geared and then end up in a PvP fight and just dying straight away, then you've got to wait another hour or so before you can get back into another one. Whereas being able to just jump into these custom-made maps, and I was speaking with Daone, and he was very interested in what you were doing, because at the moment they're stuck. They've just got to use these massive maps.
True. I also talked a little bit with the one about it. I mean, I will eventually release it to the public. I had that problem that I had a test server running with it, and it actually went pretty well. But I got pretty lazy with my payments, so they kind of shut down the server. I lost all my settings, the files, all the backend stuff I made to it. I mean, it's replaceable, definitely, so it's not a big issue for me, but I'm still kind of holding a bit on the sideline for now. But I mean, definitely deathmatch servers is kind of underrated, especially if you think DayZ has a lot of mechanics that's actually pretty useful for a deathmatch server.
Oh yeah, we're here to talk about you and Bestius, but if you haven't played the vanilla plus deathmatch servers, you're missing out. They're just optimized to basically enable you just to worry about shooting other players, not having to worry about managing inventory and dragging items onto your character and stuff like that. You just run over the top and it auto equips you. And if we can get these servers running even better with a custom map like you're creating, then it's a win-win for the whole DayZ community, Kaffeina.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can finish up my 2 current projects, and then I will get back to North Point, definitely.
Have you ever played the deathmatch servers, Bestius?
I played when they were new. I was checking out what was possible. So I hopped on and we played sometimes with my friends, but to be honest, we mostly used it as a warm-up. You have a squad coming, there's 3 of you, and there's only 2 of you yet, so you want to do something, so Yeah, there's another way that they can be used, Marks. When you are waiting on a third person to join your crew or something like that, you can jump on and, for the PvP players who play on the high loot servers and that, a great way to warm up before you get in and potentially lose everything in a fight with someone at the Northwest Airfield.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. That's probably what they're best for. Just getting warmed up, getting your gun control under control, and
That's actually what I experienced as well. On my test server, people went in there, but they weren't there for too long, and those I actually talked to was always we're just using a map a warm up if that's cool. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah. As long as they're using it, you don't want them to spend the whole night there. As long as people are coming in and keeping a bit of a flow of players going through it and just having fun, shits and giggles. It's a great way to bone up on the DayZ PvP mechanics, which we'll be talking a bit more about later, won't we, Marks? But yeah. So what else have you been working on, Kaffeina?
I mean, besides the North Point, I could give you a small tour.
Ooh.
It's a little bit heavy on booting up,
That's all right.
But
Well, it's all right for us, and probably not for you, but
it's a little bit hard on my computer, but it will manage, definitely. But I mean, the reason I made this this kind of map is, besides the mountains in Chernarus and the mountains, the snowy mountains on Namask, I always wanted kind of the same size of Chernarus, but with more mountains, just more extreme. So used a lot of times, month on kind of researching how to get height maps, satellite image to kind of like create a realistic atmosphere and like real heighting system for like mountains. And
Yep.
I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, I had like a big breakthrough in terms of like I could design the map, but I couldn't quite figure out how to get like a high quality satellite image, which is really important in terms of like having something nice to look at. But I finally did it and actually got it working, so let me just see if this is going to be a bit slow here. Or maybe just, yeah, it's just crashing just a bit. I can send you one of my images.
Yeah, that'd be lovely if you could. Because there's maps are going to be one of the secrets to keeping the game going, aren't they, Marks?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. It's always nice to get onto a new map they've never played before and explore around, and it always brings people back, especially if they're really hyped up. Always brings players back to the game, so we definitely need them.
I'm really hoping, Bestius, that DayZ themselves do release another official map for the game soon, so that it's all well and good for us on PC. We've got the modders like Kaffeina and John McLean with Deer Isle and all the other maps that are being made, but you know the console crowd as well needs to be catered to.
Yeah, I understand. I don't really have much of an insight, into that because for the past 2 years I'm mostly like on mini DayZ, so this is on the other folks. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't really, talk about any of that. So I'm kind of focusing on the mobile mini DayZ these days. So it's hard to say, what's coming. I know there are some like updates, regular, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, fingers crossed that we do get something though. We love to poke fun at our console brothers and sisters, but we do think about them as well, don't we, Marks?
Yeah, we do. They definitely do lack a lot of content. It'd be nice to see them get something down the road, but we'll never know. We'll just have to wait and see.
So how'd we go, Kaffeina?
Having a little bit trouble with.
That's all right, mate. That's all right.
You know what? Let's just save this for another time. I have something else. Like, so the one thing was my map creation. Another thing was a project that I named EOS, which stands for Environmental Overhaul System.
Yep.
It's pretty huge, kind of like overhaul in general for specifically Chernarus right now. I'm kind of thinking of like expanding it into like Livonia as well, but I'm not sure. Like I haven't played too much Livonia. I'm kind of getting the feeling it's a summer map, definitely. I'm not sure if adding kind of snow elements to either side of the map would kind of make sense, or like realistically. I mean, it's doable definitely, but it's more like if it's necessary in those terms. I'm not sure what you guys think about that.
I would love to see a summer map, one where heat management is more of an issue. We've got Namolsk for the cold, and with all the rain on Livonia, you've got to watch your temperature there a bit as well. But I would love to see a good heat map where wearing the heavy jackets and stuff like that is wearing a ghillie suit comes with a penalty. I still remember there was a patch a while back, pre 0.63, where if you wore a ghillie, you were constantly having to go and lay in a pond or something like that just to cool your character down, which added an element of survival to the game. Does anyone else remember that patch?
Yeah, I think I used to play that quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah. Little things like that are what makes DayZ a bit unique in that aspect. Here we go. We're watching your stream now. Ooh.
Even though I have to say that laying in pound like every 3 minutes or so was a bit odd, but it was a nice change of pace of the game.
I love new maps. I just love getting lost in the environment and not knowing where I am, and I love the attention to detail you guys put into your map making. Just looks beautiful,
Now,
doesn't it, Marks?
It does. But is this now, like, with overhaul stuff, when people overhaul, like Trinaris, for example, they only do certain towns that they overhaul. They don't overhaul all the maps. So when you go to the outskirts and stuff, all the roads are, like, pristine and everything. Does this mod overhaul everything? Like, all roads and stuff, or is it only certain areas of the map it does?
You're muted, Kaffeina.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so yes, like, I figured out actually a way to turn like default assets into replacement instead. So instead of just doing special locations or like limited kind of additions to certain towns, like I did before with some of my other mods, I found a way to actually turn every road in the map into kind of like a destroyed kind of path.
Yep, that's awesome.
So as you, yeah,
Well,
so
yeah,
you can
it's a
see
lot
like,
better, yeah.
So some of the grass in some areas won't kind of like cut in, but nearly every road besides some areas will actually have grass all the way around.
It makes it
So
look
it
so
will
much more apocalyptic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the one thing with Trinaris, it's too clean, it's too
Yeah,
nice,
it's roads.
and
Yes.
you know,
I mean, like, definitely. I mean, like,
That's
it's
a
pretty
lot
weird
better.
they didn't kind of like change that part of, because when I turn this off, I'm having a hard time looking at the roads because they are like really really clean.
yeah.
So this is kind of like one of the stuff I did. Like roads, kind of like, if you notice, the grass is a bit more green on this one. Plus, some of these models are not default, like stuff like this one here. So I made like a couple extras, kind of tried to fill out some gaps with it. So it kind of give like a...
What's the hit on server
more
performance
green.
like?
I'm keeping it on 60 FPS. Like, if I turn it off, I will have FPS on 60 as well. So I'm trying to keep it on the same level.
Yep.
As the standalone.
Because I know that was one of the issues with the expansion mod, was how much it impacted on server performance, Marks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm actually trying to increase performance instead of kind of decreasing it.
Yep.
There's some tricks and stuff you can do. Like, you see, like right here, the grass is loading in, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're kind of like going around in a circle, you can see the grass is kind of like being out here. Like, it stops generating from here. So you have like kind of like a circle around you where it's generating all this grass. You can actually change those numbers. I'm trying to do it so it doesn't have any effects towards, like, for the players visually, but it will have an impact on, or like a positive impact on performance instead. So this is one of the things. The next thing is actually, this is my big one here.
Oh la la.
Yes, sir. Complete redo of the northern side of the map.
That'll make a lot of people happy.
Yeah. I'm hoping so.
Nice. That is really cool.
It's kind of funny because, like, seeing how I kind of like change, you can see like there's more dirt and all that stuff on the roads, right? That actually had like a really nice impact on snow areas because it's just going through the road, so you can actually have
That looks awesome.
kind of like snowy roads as well.
I can see this being a very popular map already, Marks.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's not going to be a map per se. This is Trinaris.
Yeah, but a version of it. I can see a lot of community servers adding this because it's brilliant. Yeah, you've got the two biomes, sort of, the snowy area and the normal area. I think it's awesome. I really, I would be very excited to play this.
Sounds good, definitely.
It would be cool as well to get people up more the snowy areas if there was more. I don't know if it's possible, more like buildings or something to attract people up this side of the map as well.
Is
Usually I think it's kind of
the Tizzy
quite
area
overlooked.
snowed?
If what, sir?
Is the Tizzy area all snowed?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
I aim for like having Tizzy as well here.
Yep.
As a snowy part because, well, I mean, if I didn't include this one, I mean, it would be kind of pointless, I guess.
Yeah.
Question in chat.
But
Can you
yeah.
ask Kaffeina if that changes the sat map for the northern area, or is it done by other means?
It is done by satellite remaking.
Yep.
So can kind of show
That just
it
looks
from
beautiful.
here.
That really does.
So yeah, this changes like the whole satellite image. I think the good thing about this mod is it is a plug and play. You don't have to do any installations, whatnot. I might have to do some dependency on maybe CF, I think, but despite that, it will be like, if you want it, you can install it and it will kind of run by itself. If you don't, you can kind of just uninstall it. I mean, like,
The easier you make it, the more people will be wanting to play it and download it and put it on the service for sale.
Yes.
yeah. So that's what I'm kind of aiming for.
That's awesome.
Another thing I mean, it does a lot of replacement, like satellite image, road replacement, and I'm actually trying to replace a lot of the models as well, default models. So instead of having those kind of grayish, low,
Oh,
I
they're
mean,
a
like,
lot nicer.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're way nicer, yeah.
So, I mean, like, instead of having those gray ones, I mean, it's not like they're bad, but I feel like we could use something a little bit better. And still have this. I mean, like these.
What's this called again? What's the whole project called?
The whole project is called EOS, so EOS, Environmental Overhaul System, but trying to keep it short, you know.
Yep.
So.
That's really cool.
Thanks. I'm not sure how people will like. I mean, like, people have different opinions and stuff like that, right? So, I mean, like, some people probably not like the grass or having the set or like having like a snow area and stuff like that. So I'm actually trying to do. I'm going to split the mod up. So doing a test run with like a full ES project, like the complete package, and then after I think 40 days I planned it. So after 40 days I will split the whole mod up in all its functions, meaning you can add like the snow area and grass and like the roads and the replacement models. This way everybody can kind of like have whatever they feel like is worth having on their servers.
Dancer Jesus is another very well-known map modder is in chat, and he's just asked, did you do all that in COT? How did you manage to get the walls to bend on sloped terrain?
Oh, actually these models here, I mean, like, no, I didn't do jack square shit here actually with this one. I made the models, and instead of kind of like having troubles with like bending and all that stuff, I kind of like use the object builder to place. So this is what you don't see, but let's say we turn this one upside down. Kind of like this area here would have like a land contact. I can't actually remember what's it called, but it has like a land contact kind of thing, which means that it connects automatically to the ground. So it's actually two models, just replacing every wall in a game of this sort. It's kind of funny because I found like an actual area where I was kind of feeling that. I mean, like, I like these walls, but some places look like a concentration camp. Like, let me just show you if I can find that area.
Now, you know the way you were saying you could import the walls and stuff like that. Is there a way you could do that with the look of houses. So like you could change certain houses.
I was
so
wondering
not every
that
town
too.
is the same.
Yes.
Yes, I mean there is ways to change these ones as well. I mean like every model is like replaceable. I did it as well with a couple of extra things. Let me see if I can find that area.
It's stuff like this that makes me love doing this podcast so much, Marks. Just getting to see the brilliance and the sheer variety of stuff happening out there in the community. Yeah, we've only got 20 people watching, but I think Marks is just sitting here thinking, got my next video.
Yeah, I was 100% thinking that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Be this.
And yeah, this is part of the beauty of what we get to do on the podcast. We get to share this stuff out there and help keep the interest and that. Oh my god,
They're
that
really
looks
cool.
They're only little things,
They're
Bestius, but it makes you happy. You know, anything that can, anything that can keep the passion alive, and variety is the spice of life, they say, and this is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100% on that. It's the beauty of
so
modding.
cool. Yeah.
That lad
really cool.
in chat is just said, I'm just sitting here in awe of the snow piles. Honestly, as someone who works on winter churners, Kaffeina did a really, really good job.
I'm glad to hear. I mean, like, I completely agree. There's some people out there making some, I mean, like, extremely well-made mods. I mean, like, kudos for, like, the AI as well. I mean...
Yeah, 99% of the DayZ community won't know who you are, Kaffeina, but I think Marks is going to do his best to change that the next week for you, mate. How can people support you in doing what you're doing? Do you have a PayPal link or anything like that people could send you a few bucks to support your work?
I mean, like, definitely. I actually just kind of like turned half my hours in like my real life work, like in real life workplace. I actually kind of reduced my working hours into half and doing commissions for the rest of it instead.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can do like this stuff and kind of like get ahead.
Make sure you share that link with us if you can do it now, and we can put it in chat in case there's anyone feeling generous right now for you, mate. And Marks will include it in his video as well. Maybe get you a few bucks to, work like this shouldn't go unrewarded, should it, Marks?
No, it definitely shouldn't. God knows how much time went into making all of this stuff, and
yeah,
you should get some for it.
I mean, like, in terms of like learning how to do it, it took me months. But like when I started the ES project, I think to the point where I'm right now, I think I used 2 months actually. I mean, it's a fair amount of work I put into it right now. But
the one thing I would say, and I don't know if you're planning on doing it, but the one thing that would be cool to see is some of the houses changed. Maybe just look a bit more run down or something. I think would really spice up the towns and stuff as well.
Yes.
It would suit the roads and stuff and everything really, really well.
Oh, I would love to, but housing is just so much more complicated than...
oh, I'd say so, yeah.
I mean, I would really love to. I'm still looking into it. But it's really hard. Like, there's so much stuff in there going on in these.
Whatever you're doing, mate, just keep doing it. It's fucking awesome. This is I'm right now. If this was live, I would, at the end of this show, I would log off the podcast and I would jump onto this server. You, Marks?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd love to check it out sometime.
There's no public service test service right now, but I'm thinking like pretty soon. Oh, by the way, actually, I'm actually reaching out to the modding community as well for helping getting like these trees here. Like, I mean,
snow covered.
Besides, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Like, it looks good with this, but we could definitely use.
Yes, I did notice that, and I didn't say nothing because I was just like, he can only work with what he's got. But if you could have snow-covered trees Wouldn't that just make that so much more immersive, Bestius?
So much more.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
like,
so,
I thought it
definitely.
was. I actually thought it was impossible to do, but I contacted some people around it, and there's actually one who can kind of like actually probably do it for me.
Maybe Summit would throw some money at it. We know how much he loves trees in DayZ.
Yeah. I mean, I already made like the models here, like tree covered or
Yep.
like snow covered. I just need to kind of like implement them, and it's pretty hard because this type of tree, is the same one over here, for example. So you would have to kind of like divide those trees up, even though it's the same model, which is pretty complicated. I mean, I'm a mapper, not a scripter, so it's kind of hard to figure that out.
Is there any release date or any time when you think this might become public? Was there any estimated time even?
An estimated time would be around, I would say, I mean, if I could get the trees done, I'm nearly there. I would say around maybe a month to 2, but without promising too much.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It hasn't been
really
on
cool,
a live test server as well, so I mean, if everything goes well, I would say 1 to 2 months, perhaps.
That's really cool.
Something
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
if you ever get it up on the live test server, be sure to leave us know. I'd say a lot of people would like to be able to get on and definitely check it out. I know I would anyway.
Now, don't dodge
Yeah,
the question.
definitely.
You bloody modders are your own worst enemies. What's your PayPal link or a way for people to chuck you a few quid if they want to support what you're doing, mate?
I'll grab it for you.
They're so shy about getting donations, aren't they, Marks?
They are, yeah. They are. Yeah, I suppose it's always a bit of a thing where people feel awkward talking about money or stuff like that. So,
I mean, it can be awkward, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I'm glad you guys like it. It's still like I'm trying to kind of like get it out there still. I mean, like I have already gotten a small community built up around it. Like maybe having.
Have
you have any Discord for us?
Discord.
Yeah.
And I'll link that as well.
Let me just.
I just shared the PayPal in my chat, Marks. Are you streaming at the
I
moment,
got it
Marks?
there. No, I'll put it in the description of the video along with the Discord as well. Tomorrow.
So I'm a massive fan, mate. I can see a lot of servers going for that modification to the map, mate. It adds so much more. You know, everyone. Churnerus is everyone's bow. You know, the original map that nearly every single person has played, Bestius. But if you can reimagine it, like Winter Churnerus was all the rage there for a while. At the moment, it's, you know, a bit of the Moleskin stuff like with the Day 1 servers and that.
Yeah.
A reimagined Churnerus map it'll be a winner, in my opinion, Bestius.
Yeah, I mean, like, Churnerus is still like the map I spent definitely most of the time on, like most of the people, just as you said. But yeah. I think the sharing of the 2 biomes is really interesting. Like, it's not just winter Churnerus or, you know, just the autumn Churnerus. It's just, you know, combined. So yeah, it's really cool. Like, a lot of the parts, like, I even like the details in it. Like, the snow, it's not just, you know, one texture. There are like these molds, you know, with cracks in it, and yeah. I think it looks really impressive. And that's what I like about mods, you know, like everyone can play their niche of the game. Like, to be honest, so far I mostly play just from time to time the vanilla, and to have still something to explore. But yeah, this really made me think of, you know, going more into the mods and try to dig out something interesting, because I know it's out there.
Yeah, there is so much out there, and it's one of the great things that we get to do on this show is showcase, stuff like this. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And yeah, when you've got people like Dancer Jesus and that lad compliment you on your work, mate, you know you're doing the right thing.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to cover? Because I know you've got to take off soon.
I mean, I would really love to cover my my second map here.
Yeah, go for it.
But it's kind of. I'll see if I can get going. Meanwhile here. But yeah.
You blow me away. It's not what I was expecting, mate. I had you coming on to talk about a fucking PvP map, and then you've dropped this bad boy on me. You can see it in my face. This is, yeah. Even Marx has got this grin just going, you know your audience is going to love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While you get that together, I'm going to jump to something in the agenda that's further down the line. My content creator spotlight of today is on a guy who's just popped up in my chat, June11944, an absolute fucking legend of the DayZ community who finally got partnered on Twitch. It took way too long, and I've got ideas as to why it took way too long, but I won't go into them because I'm not allowed to badmouth people. But June thoroughly deserves it. If you haven't given June a follow, please do. He also has a YouTube channel. The guy is fucking... I love watching him. He plays DayZ in such a down-to-earth way. He's one of my favourite DayZ content creators right now. He's just so down-to-earth, very humble guy, and I'm a huge fan, so please show him some love, give him a follow. Make sure you check his About channel. Later in the show, I'll share his YouTube channel as well. That's our next goal, is let's try and get this guy monetized on YouTube. He's only got about 300 subscribers at the moment, I think, off memory, when I checked it before the show. But yeah, congratulations, June. Thoroughly fucking deserved, mate. So how'd you go, Kaffeina?
Yeah, it's a bit slow, but I think we're getting there actually.
So what's the concept behind the map?
So the concept is actually to kind of taking like the same styles of mountains from the Namask universe, and just kind of implement them on a larger scale.
That's interesting. A lot of mountainous terrain.
A lot of them. I mean, like most of the map is actually covered in pure mountains.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so.
Wow.
So this is the concept.
You're a DayZ star, mate.
Just going to pump the numbers here. So we have like 20 by 20 kilometers of like pure mountains.
I like it. I like it already. It's a different style of gameplay. You know, look at how much everyone loves the mountains on Damolsk. Are there going to be places of interest in the mountains to encourage people to get in there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's still in really early progress, but I mean, like most of the map is covered in snow and mountains. I mean, like there's multiple reasons for this. One of them is being kind of a way to reduce the work behind it. So, I mean, like covering areas like this is by far a little bit more complicated than covering kind of empty fields, if you know what I mean.
Can I make a request?
Yeah, definitely.
Caves.
Yes, I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, caves, military bunkers,
Yes.
tunnels,
Yes.
all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yep.
Just having that, all around.
Look at how popular the tunnel systems are on Damolsk. A big map with widespread, cabins you can get lost in, to bunkers and stuff like that. Would just be hugely popular in my opinion. What do you reckon, Marks?
Yeah, it would be really cool. Even stuff like underground streams and stuff that go, into these caves and such like that to pick it up would be really, really cool.
Yep.
Stuff like that would be deadly.
Not to spoil too much on the map, but already trying to see if I can kind of like create small kind of places for it.
Yep.
But I mean, like, yeah, and I'm open for ideas as well. Like,
yeah, so Rhino just said in chat, mines.
yeah, mines is actually a really good idea.
And you've got a section in your Discord about this map as well?
Yeah, I started posting this map as well for not too long ago, actually. I mean, it seems like a lot of people actually have a lot of interest in a new map, so I'm pretty sure I will go like full time on it after my ES project is done and delivered. And I'll try to, like, you know, focus on this stuff instead. But you know, it's kind of hard to balance right now because I'm doing a lot of commissions for a lot of different servers at the moment.
So what sort of commissions do you do if people wanted to engage you?
I actually do like, I mean, like a lot of things. I do modeling. I do like 3D modeling. I do actually offer mapping in terms of like small projects.
Mm-hmm.
I have been contacted by some people about deathmatch maps and stuff like that. I do texturing, retexturing, I mean, graphic designs, logos, videos. I mean, like, I do a lot of random shit on that count.
Yep.
I think for the time being, I'm doing some stuff with, like, I'm trying to get into how guns work in terms of like configuration, so I can kind of like I can create guns, but I can't make them work. So I kind of need an importer on that end.
Yep.
But I really wanted to kind of like cut that middleman out and just do it myself.
Just be careful you don't take on too much, mate, and burn yourself out. That's the last thing we need is another amazing modder getting burnt out in DayZ. Hey, Marks.
Yeah, we definitely don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, it can be rough, but
this looks beautiful, mate.
Again,
it really does. I love it brings back vibes like where you are right now. Brings back vibes of the old Moschino tents. You know, the two mountain ranges across, big epic sniper battles. I love it, mate. I love it.
Can I give 2 suggestions for our maps? Or things you could put in maps. One, with a map like this, it'd be cool to see a map with a lot of different type of waterways that you could go around. Because usually in like Churner, Sullivan, there's only one river, and maybe there's like the ocean. It'd be cool if there was like big rivers going through certain maps and cutting through certain things and stuff. So maybe like something like expansions boats or something when they properly work could be fully used on a map like that.
Definitely.
That would be really cool. And then one other thing. Remember you were saying that you were kind of looking at doing something with Livonia, but you didn't really know what, and you thought it was kind of a summer map. It'd be cool, maybe if Livonia was a summer map, it'd be kind of cool to see an area of Livonia that's after being on fire or something like that. If it is a map, you know, with the heat or something like that. You know, all the trees are charred, maybe all no leaves, stuff like that. The grass is all burnt, that type of stuff. I think could be kind of cool in Livonia. Something different. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like the deforested area on Chernerus.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, there's not much there to make people want to go there, but it's always a nice when you go there because it's got a different vibe to it, Bestius.
Yeah.
That is actually a really good idea.
But maybe have a bit more charred, like a bit, more fire damaged. I don't know, it could be something to look at.
I mean, like, it has different kinds of types of trees, so you could actually just kind of replace some of the models again, and not take everything down, but kind of like go for like heavily dense areas. And I mean, like, if I replace one tree, it will replace everything, right?
Yeah.
So
a good suggestion in chat just then from Jamkey90, Livonia to be a swamp. Swampland areas. You know, you've got the couple of areas along the coast of Chernerus around Belota and that. But again, maybe a swampland military zone where it's flooded a bit and just slows you down in your movement speed, adds a bit of risk to going into the area.
I mean, like, that's a lot of good ideas, definitely right there.
Yeah. Make sure you join his Discord, folks. I'll put the link in chat again. because it's there's a lot to take in being on the show like this, and put these ideas in there for him.
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever you got, just throw it in my direction. I will sort through everything. But yeah, I mean, like, because so Livonia doesn't have the right settings for like having a snow area. I mean, it's doable, but I feel like it would be weird to have like this kind of summer theme with like snowy areas without the mountains. So I think like a burned out place, maybe actually a combination of swamp areas and burned out areas would be like really cool to combine. Just redoing like the full map.
Also, maybe if you are like going to heavily do Livonia or whatever, maybe some more POIs or something a bit different, because that's one I think I always found about Livonia is there's not much there. I know there's different reasons and all that, but me personally, that's the reason I don't play this. It's just I find it kind of empty. So if there was more POIs around the place and stuff, I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah, they could. I mean, I haven't played too much Livonia, so I'm actually not sure about like what's in the map. I mean, like I don't know the map as good as like Chernarus, but I feel like I've heard that argument before.
It's very PvE focused. Livonia is, in my opinion. That said, the northern area of the map is absolute chaos. But the southern area, not a lot of people go there, which, for people like myself, it makes it very attractive. You can get down there, get lost, and hunt bears and stuff like this.
I mean, like that's kind of like the same reason why I'm doing stuff like this, because I want to have like that kind of survival feeling back, and I know Livonia provides that in terms of like having a lot of forest and these kind of dense areas with nature. And I kind of want to have that kind of survival feeling back, instead of just going completely mental on a PvP.
Yeah,
could be cool to have something like areas where you have point of interest, but maybe something like the food system is kind of reduced. So instead of like going just from house to house finding food,
you're hunting, fishing.
You're hunting, yeah, exactly. You have to hunt, you have to fish in order to survive, which I feel like is kind of like one of the core foundations of DayZ, is that survival element. And I kind of want to, turn that volume up a bit.
Oh, did you pick up on what he said before? He's one of the elite few who call it DayZ and not DayZ.
Perhaps. I mean, I always call it DayZ, but
yeah. No, I love this, mate. This is another great idea. The much more vertical play style. I think this is beautiful.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
But everything, something like rivers on a map like that, especially, kind of looks like it would work for it. I think it'd be quite cool. Give some a new objective or a new way they have to kind of traverse the land and stuff. Would be interesting.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you so much for sharing these 2 maps with us, man. That was, like I said, you totally blown me away. I got you on to talk about one thing, and the one thing I wanted to talk about wasn't really that interesting after all. It's the other little side projects, the side hustles you've been working on.
Sorry, what?
The other couple of little side projects you've been working on.
Yeah. I mean, like, when I get bored, I kind of like get sidetracked and then do some crazy stuff with other things. So I mean, like, I'm trying really to focus these days, because it's so easy for me to just be like, this map is not good enough, I'm going to do something else, or like having that kind of thinking. So I mean, like, I'm trying to also get external help on the AEST projects.
Yep.
So I can kind of like wrap those areas up that I don't know stuff about.
Well, if you think you've got some skills and you're interested in helping out, join the Discord, folks, and hit Kaffeina up.
Yeah. I mean, like, any help is appreciated, definitely.
Absolutely awesome, mate. Absolutely awesome.
I think that's it for me. But I mean, like, really thanks for having me on the show, and I'm glad you guys like the project.
We do. Des
It's really
Jesus
cool.
just said,
It's
looks
really
like
cool.
it's got a British Columbia or Alaska vibe to it. And yeah, I'd agree with that.
It is actually a real area in Alaska.
There
I
you
didn't
go.
shape those mountains. Yeah.
There.
It's actually from the national park resort called Glaciers Bay, I think it is. So yeah.
Very clever, mate. Very clever. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much once again, Kaffeina. We'll let you head off, mate. Thank you so much. You've just, yeah. Marks, you get to cover both of them for him?
I'll see. Yeah, I might definitely gonna do the Chernus one, but if I can do both, I will.
Awesome. Oh,
For sure.
and he's off. So that brings us to our next guest. Bestius, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. I
That-
was just checking some great mods, so
Yep. Mini DayZ, mate. A lot of people don't know about it. Oh, you're back again, Kaffeina.
Hey, I think. Yeah, I think my computer just bugged out there.
No.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I'll keep you guys posted on the development and yeah.
Too easy, mate. Definitely post any updates that you want us to talk about, and if there's something really important, hit us up and we'll get you back on the show, mate, to showcase where you're at.
Yep. Definitely. All right, I'll get going.
Okay, buddy. All the best.
see ya, mate.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you
All right,
later.
Take care. Bye.
So yeah, Bestius, Mini DayZ. Not a lot of people know about it. It surprises me because it's such a fun little game that you can take in your pocket to get that quick little hit of DayZ anywhere you are.
I mean, it's so weird when you think about it. It's literally called Mini DayZ. You know, it's for your phone, and actually the two communities, you know, of DayZ, of Mini DayZ, are both quite large, but they are not as intertwined as you would, you know, expect. There's like a lot of people actually in the Mini DayZ community that are asking to like make a 3D open world version multiplayer of it, and you know, then you just message them back like, hey, do you mean something like, I don't know, DayZ? And you send them the link, and they're like, you know, their head explodes that there's something more to it. So
Yeah.
it actually works like both ways, which is kind of funny to me.
So can you explain basically what the game is?
Yeah. I think it's like it's best to get to the start of Mini DayZ, which kind of like explains it in the best way, I think. Because like in 2014, there was a fan of DayZ in Russia who figured it would be really fun to make some 2D version of DayZ basically in pixel art, you know, using like the really simplistic old school graphics. And he decided to like make a browser version of it that you can play, you know, online. And it actually was so popular that it got featured on DayZ Reddit, and he was contacted if he wants to like work on it, you know, together with Bohemia. And that's basically when they decided that it will be better to try to port it to mobile. And that's basically how Mini DayZ 1 went out, you know.
Yep.
It was like in its origins it was purely like fan made, which is funny when you look at the origins of DayZ itself. I think like you know, it's just, you know, Bohemia thing, I guess. So yeah.
So Bohemia bought it from this guy?
Oh, sorry.
So did Bohemia buy the game from him, or?
They basically told him that they can collaborate on it. So it was mostly like one-man project. He was using like some help from, you know, some graphics, and of course, you know, he had a lot of help. But he basically like started working for Bohemia, and then later he even relocates from Russia to Prague to our offices to work with it, and also have like some kind of team behind the game, you know, so he doesn't have to do everything by himself.
Yep.
Yeah, so and to be honest, I think I stumbled across it like before I even like joined Bohemia, because like I got really hooked on DayZ in like 2000, I think it could be like 15, I guess, 2014, 15. And I joined Bohemia like to be in the QA to test, and that's where I actually got my hands on it, because for some time I was testing for bugs the mini DayZ 1, and it was crazy how incredibly rough the game is. The difficulty uh, is off the roof, like seriously. I don't like when people nowadays everything compared to Dark Souls. It's kind of annoying from time to time. But I just have to like people who play Dark Souls and like act all high and mighty, man, they should like get to mini DayZ, because it's something else completely, man. I felt so humiliated. There's so much content in the mini DayZ 1 that you don't explore. If you are not very skilled at the game, if you don't survive, long enough, and so on, that's it's really really insane. And yeah,
Peggy 12.
because the mini DayZ 1 was like created, by a fan, and wasn't meant in the origins to be as big. Naturally, there were some technical issues later on. As you pile more content on it, it just started to be really heavy. So we decided to do mini DayZ 2 to kind of move the series forward.
Yep. So what's the object of when you're playing the game?
And, I mean, it's there were some shifts, but in mini DayZ 2, there's like a system where you have your base, which you upgrade, and you have a couple of survivors.
Mm-hmm.
And with these survivors, you can go on raids to like specific locations. Like there's like I think there's like TC military base, and it just pops you on a map. You have like a hunger meter, you have your health, you have radiation or biohazard is better like for the infection rates. And it's just like 2D, I guess a bit tactical combat, because DayZ, not even DayZ or mini DayZ, is a game where you are supposed to rush into a horde of zombies and start slashing them with a chainsaw. That's usually doesn't work very well, and yeah, it shows. So you usually try to be really sneaky, especially in the like first locations. And yeah, later on you collect some guns and so on, and you get out of the location to your base, you collect some resources, items, and yeah, so that's like the main game loop. And as you play more, you unlock more characters and more locations to to keep things going.
And there are some in-game purchases. Can you tell us how that works?
Yeah. Because like in mini DayZ 1, it wasn't meant, to be honest, from what I know, to get as big, So we didn't really worry much about the cost of keeping everything up and running. But it turned out that mini DayZ 1 was like extremely popular. So we couldn't just, cut it off without anything. But the game didn't have basically any kind of meaningful monetization. So in mini DayZ 2, we had to think about some sort of sensible way to fund the project and its development. So there's like one premium currency, which is called fuel, which you can buy for real money, or if you are lucky, you can find it out in the wild, on the raids, just by playing the game. And this one basically can speed up some of the processes in the game. So for example, if you get like your character hurt on a raid, you want to put it in the hospital, which takes like 12 minutes or 10 minutes to heal. And you can speed up this by using the fuel, for like you have like health, morale, and infection levels, and you can regain health pretty quickly in the hospital, and the morale and infection levels can take like a bit longer. There's also some timers for crafting weapons, because you have crafting station and repair station in your base. Yeah, but we don't really want to go in a way where we would provide an exclusive items or anything like that.
Yep.
It's just something to, I guess, make it more convenient.
And it's still a single-player game, isn't it?
It is at the moment, but one of the very important things when we are talking, about the mini DayZ 2 is that we are still at the basically very beginning of open beta. I think we released, it will be 1 month now, I believe, something like that. So the whole game requires you to be connected to the internet because a lot of things, is working on our servers. And that's because we had like one biggest piece of feedback we got from mini DayZ 1 that people want multiplayer. They want to play with their friends. So the whole game is built around multiplayer, which right now is being worked on and should get into the game, later in the development.
Have you played mini DayZ, Marks? I'm certain I've asked you that before.
No, never.
You should give it a
Never
try.
played it.
It's quite a fun little game. Great for when you're out
I'm
and
gonna
about.
have to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the mini DayZ 2 right now, I think it's quite fun for some time. It can be a bit frustrating at the beginning, because the learning curve is a bit steep for some player, especially people who are used to classical mobile games where they like you click on a building and like 5 achievements pop out, saying you are amazing, while here you basically go on your first rate and most likely you will die a lot. But we are still playing with that, and if you are careful, we have, I think, pretty cool stealth system into the game that you can use like a stealth, like sneak mode, and the AI is significantly better compared to mini DayZ 1. So if you utilize that properly, I think that helps a lot.
I just love that it's a fan-made game that got official recognition. That's one of the things that I like the most about it, Marks.
Yeah, it's cool to see that they, if they see something that a fan made and it's good, they'll partner up with them and give them the help they need.
Is he still involved in the project?
He's the lead game designer on mini DayZ 2 as well. So
Good.
yeah, he of course have a big influence on how it looks like.
No, so definitely worth checking out, folks. I'll put the link to the website in chat. How long, roughly, till it'll be out of open beta, do you reckon, Bestius?
Sorry?
How long will it be in open beta for?
That's not have been specified, so I don't really know. Like I think our biggest blocker for to consider it a final release and keep working on that is adding of the multiplayer.
Yep.
Which actually we are still getting through, and it will be like a topic for one of the blog posts in the future, which I think is very what's the word? Like a lot of people are waiting for it, because we don't want to introduce a multiplayer which won't run very well, so we don't want to overpromise, hey, there will be like 40 on 40, battles and stuff like that. So we still have to figure that out. And for a mobile game, the development was dragging for quite some time. So putting the open beta out there is kind of like letting our community know that, there's actually really some, game development in process, that we are just not making this stuff up.
Like you can drive vehicles?
No, it's not planned right now for mini DayZ 2 because you are going from your base to to these raid locations. The maps are a bit smaller, so it's not a priority because there would be as much of use for them.
Yep.
But in the mini DayZ 1, there were drivable cars.
I never found one. I never found one in mini DayZ.
And did you ever leave the first island?
No.
Yeah, that's what's really interesting about mini DayZ 1 is because I was testing it for quite some time, and even after so many tries, I still sucked at it so poorly. So So the Mini DayZ 1 game loop is basically that you have like a big map, and when you want to go to like progress in the game, you repair a boat that's on the coast, and you go to the next island, and you can never go back. And there's like 4 islands, and there's a lot of content that's exclusive to the following islands. Like there's like more bandits, there are more quests, and yeah, the cars, you know. And a lot of special infected. That's something that might be a bit unfamiliar for like, you know, typical DayZ fans.
Mm-hmm.
That there are like special kind of infected. Some is even like called Hulk among the community, and it's like a really, really big beefy guy who's like rushing at you, and like most of the people just die, you know, the first time they meet him, because it's just something completely different to what we are used to.
Did the vehicles actually work on the mobile version?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the good thing about 2D is that you can't really go flying up, so
Sure.
you know, we you know, step ahead of them.
I think I'm going to whack out Mini DayZ again, because I never actually left the island. I played quite a bit of it, but I never bothered to leave the island. I think I've got to try to complete it, get to the 4th island.
Yeah,
I didn't even know there was 4
I can't blame
islands.
you, honestly. There's also like a perk system for the survival, like survivor, that as you play more, you get experience, and you can unlock like small bonuses for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting too. Yeah, so I think right now, like content-wise, like Mini DayZ 1 is still ahead of Mini DayZ 2 because of the beta, you know, where we are like laying the foundations still. We can't really focus that much on the content. But if someone wants to try it, I have to warn that from technical point of view, the Mini DayZ 1 definitely has its flaws, which looks like we are so far preventing in the Mini DayZ 2.
It wouldn't
so
be
the game
DayZ without unintended game features, would it, Marks?
Yeah.
No, definitely wouldn't. Definitely not.
Yeah, like I got a lot of reports of people, you know, like saying, hey, the game doesn't start, like there's only the Bohemia Interactive logo and that's it. And I was like, did you try waiting like 4 minutes staring at the screen? And that usually like resolves the issue. People in Mini DayZ 1 just don't expect a mobile game to be, you know, booting up for so long.
No, love it. Absolutely love it. I'll definitely be checking out Mini DayZ 2 as well. It's a fun little thing when you're not at your PC, and you know, you might be on your lunch break at work, or you know, in public transport on the way to work, or you know, just maybe on a holiday or something like that, and got some downtime. You can whack it out, and you can play it on tablet as well. That's how I play it on my iPad. So yeah, it works well.
Yeah, and I really think like the Mini DayZ 2, one of the reasons, besides it's easier to do, you know, the technical thing well, you know, the rate system kind of works a bit better for the mobile platform as we design it, because exactly how you mentioned, you can just, you know, open the game, which opens quite fast because it's Mini DayZ 2. And you just pop into one rate, you know, for like 5 minutes, and you get out, and then you get on the bus, and you know, you can commute and do whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, because as I said, like I'm definitely not as big in DayZ as you guys are. I got really hooked on the DayZ back then, and that's why I basically like joined Bohemia. But I was really in for the DayZ for the atmosphere, you know. I never wanted to use like third-party maps, you know. I actually still kind of can get lost in Chernarus, because I never really wanted to, you know, to try hard it so much to kind of kill the sensation and the adventure, you know. So even on like hardcore vanilla maps, you know, there's still a lot for me to discover. And when I saw the Mini DayZ, you know, for the first time, I felt like a lot of the like aesthetic, you know, the motorbike helmet, the you know, firefighter X, you know, it's in there. And to see the exact same models you can see in DayZ, to see them in like pixel art style in some cute game, you know, on your mobile, it just looked really, really cool to me. So that's why
I love
over
the
the
pixel
time.
art. I love the pixel art.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice throwback to, it works well for the style of the game. Not everything needs to be, realistic graphics and all the rest of it. It's nice to just, it works well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's a lot of like cute little ideas. I also think it's pretty cool for a mobile game that basically, I don't know if it can be seen in the video properly, but you are not like tapping to shoot at a certain locations. Like the aiming is automatic. So just take a steady aim, you don't move, and you can like switch between the targets you are shooting at. But you don't actually have to tap in the direction. So I guess that says quite a bit about the game, that it's actually like more tactical than straight like action.
How many users do you have playing Mini DayZ and Mini DayZ 2 at the moment?
I don't know the exact numbers like from top of my head, but I know that when Mini DayZ 1 was speaking, we were talking about hundreds of thousands of players.
Wow.
And I think for Mini DayZ 2 it can get very easily over like 100,000 too.
Yep.
So it definitely is much bigger than someone from the DayZ community who hears about it the first time things. Even though of course it's like free to play, so
couldn't there be a way for Bohemia in there to somehow link the two games together? So like, because obviously the mobile version having that many players on it is way more than the PC version or whatever. It'd be cool if there was a way where they could like advertise like the actual full-on game as well somehow, even when it's loading or something like that. So for people like you said, some people didn't realize there was two.
I've never joined a map and seen something pop up for Mini DayZ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something we could like discover later on. Like you said it at the very beginning that there's tons of DayZ players, who probably never heard about Mini DayZ, and we are fully aware of it. The thing is that simply put, there's still a lot of work for us on Mini DayZ 2.
Yep.
So right now we are quite happy that we have some dedicated, core players that really want to, give us the feedback and so on. We have a great Discord community of players who put like hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into the Mini DayZ. So right now we really need to figure out like balance the game properly and add all the features that we want to.
Yep.
Because I said that from the first information we released about Mini DayZ 2 is that it will have multiplayer, and that's really significant because a lot of the decisions in the game design were like motivated to make the multiplayer happen eventually, and it's not yet in the game. So I think right now it's like a cool tech demo. If someone is interested, I fully recommend to play it, and then write us on Twitter or Facebook, what you liked about it, what you disliked about it, like which gun is OP, like what is the meta that you were using, what should be nerfed. But yeah, on the other hand, like we still have so much like long list of features that we would like to get there, and just need the time, to do that.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens, and like Mark said, it'd be great if there was some advertising both ways, promoting the console and PC version, and promoting Mini DayZ as well. Particularly if it is going to be multiplayer, the more people playing, the more excitement it'll be for everyone.
Yep.
Anything else we need to know about it, Bestius?
I think that's the like biggest crash course for how to get into it. So people should be really patient, should be very careful if you decide to download the DayZ, Mini DayZ after hearing this. Be very careful on your first raids. It's really, really hard. We are still tuning it a bit, but yeah, I think that's for the most part it.
Awesome. Okay, we will move on to the rest of the agenda. You're welcome to hang around if you want, Bestius. We're going to be DayZ nerding it a bit now.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Yeah, it's like pretty late in my area, and I should get up like tomorrow morning.
No worries,
But
mate.
But I would like very much to, thank you for this invitation and for the opportunity to, show the mini DayZ to some hardcore like DayZ players. And I'm sure that maybe
For-
someone else from the team
Blyson just said in
later
chat,
on.
I downloaded it and died quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of that's why I repeated it a couple of times. It can be quite frustrating a bit, but either you love it or you hate it. I guess that was the same for most of us in DayZ when you first started it.
Yeah.
I died so many times without like doing literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
If you don't like
you can
dying
see
a
the
lot, you
spirit
shouldn't
is
play
there.
DayZ on any form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's about it. And later on, once we are more confident about the stage of the development, I would love to like maybe talk about it more, or maybe invite someone else from the team, like
Yeah.
who knows more the technical stuff. I'm still like a part-time community manager, so there's a lot of things that I might not be able to answer to, but I think this was really like nice introduction to it. So
No,
thank you
definitely.
for the time.
All the best, mate.
Okay, all the best to you too, and see ya.
Ciao for
See
now.
you later.
Okay, so as we were talking about in the Discord in the week leading up to it, it was a fairly slow week in DayZ, Marks.
Yeah, it definitely was. It's always like this around update time, just before an update. It's always usually kind of quiet.
But we did have something fun happen, and that was the man, the myth, the legend himself, Brian Hicks, was playing DayZ. And I happened to be watching at the time. And oh my god, what a fucking clip this is.
You guys the shotgun boys?
What shotgun boys? Oi, who's that behind you?
Huh?
Do you know them?
I
They're
know.
getting
I'm
gatted if
alone.
you don't
I'm
know
alone.
them.
I'm alone.
Alright, they're getting gatted, bro.
Stay here.
Oh,
Oi,
okay.
you tell what? This is how much I trust you, bro. This is how much I trust you, alright? I'm gonna drop you a shotgun. You go over there and shoot the shit out of them, alright?
Okay.
Alright, man, grab that shotgun. Kill them. Kill them.
All right. Okay. Hey, leave a positive review on Steam.
That's how we do it around here. Alright, you're the new recruiter, alright? I love you already.
There's your gun. I put the gun down. You guys the shot?
I absolutely cacked myself watching that. Leave a positive review on Steam. And then just blast them. It was
That's very
perfect. I'm pretty sure he was playing on DayZ Down Under, an Australian server that's just absolutely killing it right now. But yeah, that was... Yeah, I felt sorry for the guy he killed, Marks, but how good was that?
That was very good. Yeah, it was worth the death.
I put it straight onto Twitter. I went, DayZ marketing is in safe hands with Brian Hicks promoting the game. Oh, dear Lord. But it had been a while since he played it. He's been playing a bit of 7 Days to Die lately and that. But, with his new job now, he just seems to be very, very happy. He lives in New Zealand, working for Dean Hall again on Survive Icarus. And he's been streaming quite a bit, so I'll share his channel because, you can go in there. And it's nice hearing from someone who was an OG of the DayZ community and seeing them, still playing the game as well.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Definitely cool to see.
It is. Very, very cool. Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but weapon rebalancing, Marks, it's still upsetting a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think so. It's upsetting a lot of content creators, I think. Most people seem kind of fine about it when I've streamed it. Like, the average player has seemed quite happy about it. They haven't really been giving out that much. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's just kind of content creators mainly, but, again, I don't know if Minder has played it or not.
Now, it was interesting, the clip that I'm sharing here, that he put out, where he's talking about the difference in penetrations. But one thing that I'm glad I clicked on it was Sumrak actually replied to him and pointed out that offline mode doesn't work the same as online mode.
No.
So we need to be careful with what we're watching. You know, I imagine this might even affect some of Wobo's videos then, possibly. That if offline mode isn't working the same as, you know, a live server, I'm just wondering whether anything Wobo's ever put out has been skewed by that as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, it's been an interesting one to see. Offline mode is just, you know, it's for testing. I don't know if it can be always relied on. It's a bit iffy, offline mode. But yeah, it all depends, I think. See, the one thing I don't like about that is if, you know, he might have probably could have messaged somebody from the DayZ team, probably Scotty or someone, to clarify this before posting it. It just seems like he's talking crap for no reason. Again, he could have just, you know, said a bit and clarified before going on and posting this tweet. That just seemed to be kind of pointless in the end, because then some had to come in and be like, no, that's not true. So yeah, not sure how I feel about that clip, to be 100% honest. But
look, he wasn't the only one, mate. There was every man and his dog's been jumping on the bandwagon about it. But this was the one that I saw, and the one that I saw that Adam had replied to, pointing out that, yeah, it does not work in offline, and elaborating on it.
Again, there's another, you know, these players need to get onto an actual server. Just get onto the actual experimental servers test. No point testing it in offline mode, because you're just, you know, you're not going to really understand what it's like unless you actually play the actual servers. And yeah, it just bugs me when anyone who does that and just gives out without actually testing the proper version of it. It's annoying.
But what are your overall thoughts on the weapon rebalancing, mate?
It seems all right. Honestly, I'm not going to say it's good or bad, because honestly, I haven't tried it fully, and I don't want to, you know, give false information. If it gives more on-con states and more, you know, less one-taps and stuff like that, I think it's going to be good. We're going to have to wait and see. Like people were saying, we're going to have to wait and see when it comes out unstable. There'll probably be more tweaks about it then. There'll probably be a couple of hot fixes, I would assume. But look, at least they're still, you know, trying to fix the game and stuff. And they're listening to the complaints. So. Yes.
And, you know, look, if people aren't putting stuff out, whether they do it via DM or, you know, just a public tweet or whatever, you know, they're not going to be getting the feedback. As we talked about last week, there's very few people actually playing the experimental version of the game. If anything, we should be thanking the creators who are, you know, at least even creating an offline server and trying to test things to, you know, bring some interest, some feedback to what's happening with experimental.
Yeah, like I play them, I stream them, I make videos on the experimental versions. I know Wobo does as well.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no, I don't really know many other people who do. And so, yeah, it's kind of annoying. More people should definitely be,
jump on it, folks. It's easy to download. Yeah, it's easy 100%. To download. It's a separate version now. You don't have to switch your DayZ version. You can have both experimental and stable installed on your computer at the same time. Very easy to switch between them. Don Sibley went quiet there for a while, but he's back again. And I love this video. How to make guns spawn in the empty gun racks you see around the map.
Just notice that there's what we're adding today is, well, let me ask this question. Have you ever seen the gun racks that are scattered around the maps in DayZ near the military areas? Notice that there's no guns in them. Well, today I'm going to show you how we can make guns spawn in those gun racks throughout the map. Okay, what we're adding today is...
What a brilliant idea. It's always bugged me. It's, especially those little military checkpoints around the map, and nothing spawns at them unless there's a military tent there. Always bugged me. Livonia is a bit different. Livonia, you can find stuff on tables around the place, but I would love to know if that's possible to do on PC servers as well, because it's absolutely frustrating that these little checkpoints, Livonia's got the little concrete guardhouses at a lot of those checkpoints as well, but that is just a great little guide for him to have put out on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's really good. I mean, if the console versions can do it, I don't see why the PC versions can't.
Emsir is saying in chat that it is possible. It's just XML stuff. Definitely worth doing, because it's always bugged me that there's all these gun racks everywhere around the map and there's never a bloody gun on them. It's like, is it just
kind of pointless, aren't they?
Yeah. Every little thing we can get like that. But it's great to see Don back again and putting out content. He's an amazing Australian content creator and should be a hell of a lot bigger than he is. So 100%. Definitely worth checking him out, folks.
He's helping a lot of the console community out there, which is good to see.
Yes, if you're a console person, Don is a great one to watch. As also as Scale Speeder is another one as well, who does a lot of console videos, especially for the admins and so on, talking about a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So two channels you should definitely be checking out. Raelian, we're looking to get this guy on the show, folks. Absolutely,
I saw this.
Loving this stuff.
Next dev update for the Infusion AI project. And well, as you might be able to tell by the mechanical way these two people are running, these aren't
first
players.
Clip here,
these are AI.
They look like real players.
The past 2 weeks.
That's what I commented down below, and I thought they were players.
To targeting and combat, and it really shows.
And that blew my mind, because the AI before that's out there at the moment doesn't run like that.
Beta.
I'm going to mute it, because as always, if you want to see the rest of it, go watch it on his channel. He's so close, folks. 19 more subscribers and he hits the 1,000 mark, and then he just needs the hours, and with 2,039 views on his video, he's going to get there. But here's the link to the video. Sorry, just covering back. Twinkle Toes is saying that those bar clearly marked as first aid cabinets. There should be stuff in there. Yeah, there should. There should. But yeah, definitely go subscribe to Raelian's channel, folks. The stuff he's doing is amazing. We at the podcast have also now subscribed to him on Patreon as a tier 3 sub. So make sure you join his Discord as well, Marks, because you'll get the benefits of us being you'll get the benefits of us being a Patreon for him now as well. Let me just find it. There it is there. So again, it's good to see a mod or a modder that's not afraid to say, hey, if you could throw a few bucks our way. Content creators do it all the time. Modders should be doing it as well. It's not paid. It's going to be a free mod, but he's just asking people to join his Patreon to help support, and he's been quite open about it. He's only got 13 Patreons, folks. Again, that's pretty sad. We need to get some more people on there.
I'm going to be doing a video on this once it goes on to some test servers that are currently going up. So once that's up, I'll link that Patreon and stuff as well. And mention it.
So 3 tiers, $4.50 per month, $14 per month, or the elite sponsor at $34 per month, which is what we've signed up for at the podcast, which we're able to do thanks to the people who subscribe on this channel and our own generous Patreons as well. It doesn't go into my pocket, folks. It goes back into the community in one way, shape or form. So any support at all is appreciated. Don't want to support me? Go support a mod like Base Building Plus or Raelian's AI. Anything like that. Just get out there and support someone or someone doing something in the community, folks. But yeah, I can't wait to get him on. And actually, I'm certain you're chomping at the bit to get into a server and actually play with the Marks.
Yeah. Just waiting to get the confirmation that one has gone live, and as soon as they do, I'll be making a video on it.
Awesome. We've got another podcast coming, folks. That Guy Sill is doing a podcast with JLK, Barbarius, South Sweet, and Project Red Tie. So I reached out to him and asked for some more information. They're not going to be doing it live. They're going to be recording it, and they're recording it Sunday. So today for me, tomorrow for you guys in the past. But I'm excited for it. I love doing the DayZ podcast, but as I've said, even on our own website, I loved back in the day, Marks, when I was able to watch firstly Barely Infected and Super FT LOL, two legends of DayZ, doing their Ultracast. And then we had Uncooper, Ragebra, and Septic Falcon with Compass. And I liked being able to watch and listen to a podcast myself. And I'm excited for this because I want to see, a lot of these guys are, they're base raiders, they're PvP players. And so I can't wait to see what they talk about, whether it's going to be, just about DayZ or other games or just jump on it. It's going to be a great show.
It's always nice to have somebody else's view on certain things as well.
Definitely. The more the merrier. Yep. Speaking of points of view, what was your video this week, mate, from the podcast?
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing. Let me check. I've been a bit away from YouTube now this week, so it was the Pine 6.2. Was Pine 6.2 better than current version of DayZ? I haven't even read the comments on this one, to be 100% honest. A lot of people kind of liked Pine 6.2 from what it looks like anyway, like old areas to it and stuff like that. A few people were like they'd like to see a bit of both, maybe current versions mechanics with old map, stuff like that would be kind of cool. But then I think a lot of people were also saying it was a lot of nostalgia and rose tinted glasses and stuff like that. That after an hour, half an hour of it,
I'm just chuckling at that name there, Xi Jinping Pong.
Xi Jinping.
But I totally agree with Z on this. A video about the evolution of DayZ would be really nice. Not a podcast, but a video that shows different mechanics and gameplay. We got Dancer Jesus' video came this week as well, which was fantastic to see. I included the link to that in the upload of the DayZ podcast as well. But yeah,
I might actually be doing something with that Pine 6.2 version, so I could compare the two in a video or something like that. It'd be kind of cool to see,
But no, these videos of yours are doing really well, mate. Look at that, nearly 4,250 views almost. They're just really good way of getting the conversation going on various different things. But for those who didn't see it, Dancer Jesus's video was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I was here.
Let me just bring it up.
It's linked in chat.
Oh, you did? Awesome. Again, we're not watching the whole 25 minutes of it, but it was a brilliantly done video. Sad that it's only got 930 views. It deserves a hell of a lot more. I pretty much agreed with nearly everything that DOJ said in the video. It was just, I missed some of the clunkiness, but I know that's looking with rose tinted glasses at the way it used to be. But yeah,
I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet, but I have it sitting there now, ready and waiting to watch after this. So look forward to seeing it.
He said it's going to be featured in the community spotlight. That surprises me that they would put a video using a version of the game that you're not supposed to not be able to do and put it in the spotlight. But kudos to DayZ for doing that, if that's true.
Well, that gives me confirmation about my thing then. Yeah.
Was it better technically? No. Objectively, yes. It'd be great if they could combine the two.
Could be, yeah, definitely.
Because there was a certain beauty to the old version of the game, as frustrating as it was, but it kind of united us all in the the whole dying to stupid bugs and things like that. And quite some episodes back, we watched a video with my mate Booney having an axe battle with a guy, and they're just running in circles, and the thunk thunk sound is there. Yeah, it was just awesome.
Definitely was. I'm just mesmerized by the old menu system. I still remember it.
Look, one thing I will say, we get feedback. I get feedback quite often directly from the dev team, mainly from Scotty. They are very open to critique. Say what you want about the DayZ team, but they will always take what you say on the chin and acknowledge it and do what they can about it. They're limited, but they're always open to critique, provided you do it right. If you just go in and start yelling and screaming and carrying on like a fucking pork chop, they're probably not going to acknowledge you in any way, shape or form. But if you do it with just a bit of common courtesy, there's no issues, is there, Marks?
No, they don't mind it at all. Once you're kind to someone, they'll be kind back. That type of way.
The other thing I liked about DOJ's review, though, Marks, was the fact that he didn't just talk about gameplay. He did, like what we're seeing on the screen now, he talked about, just even the control settings and so on behind the game. He did a really in-depth video.
That's good.
He's got the main menu, joining a server and UI, movement and controls, inventory, graphics and lighting, Old Chernogorsk, Old Northwest Airfield, volumetric clouds, weather, infecteds, cars, guns and gunplay recoil, ragdolls and damage system, conclusions, DayZ Classic Update /DLC, which I would love to see. I think that's an easy no-brainer for BI to release an easy map. Make it free.
If they can get the licenses for us, then
make it free.
Perfect.
I think that's half the problem with Livonia, that they stuck it behind a paywall, which limited the player base massively. And put a lot of people's noses out of joint as well. But at the end of the day, they're a business. They've got to make money, guys. They're not doing this for free. No, DOJ, amazing video. And it's not the only video he's got on his channel, folks. If you go in and you look, he's got some other stuff on there. So go check it out. Some decent views on some of his videos as well. 14k there. So good channel to follow. What else have we got? Now, this one's a bit of a personal one. I have become a bit of a fatty bomber. I'll probably get demonetized for that. Between myself and a mate of mine, Rhino, we're doing a weight loss challenge. I'm going to be basically exercising every day. I'm trying to eat better. Our first day's fucking cheeky bastard, Scale Speeder. Hey, I didn't give you the front view, mate, where you get to see my scars. But I got down to 105 kilos and fucking Scale Speeder. I'm back up to 133 kilos, man, and I'm pretty fucking ashamed of myself. So if anyone wants to join in the journey, try and help motivate each other. But Rhino said the same. He's gained about 20 odd kilos since he lost a whole shit ton of weight as well. And we're going to try and be a bit healthier, and I'm limiting the amount of iced coffees I drink, trying to eat healthier, and just doing what we can to be a bit healthier. When you spend a lot of time sitting at a computer screen, it's easy to stack on the kilos, isn't it, Marks?
Oh, 100%, sure. Definitely is.
So I've set up a little channel in my Discord. So feel free to join it, and we will see what we can do to try to make ourselves a little bit healthier, because we've got to watch our fucking health, folks. DOJ, I just gained 2 kilos by making that fucking video. But yeah, Happy to have anyone join in. I'm going to be posting a photo and I'll be updating my weight every week, letting you know if I'm gaining or losing, and I'll probably set some sort of penalty if I gain weight, and yeah.
Sounds good.
We are now down to our little mini spotlights. A mod mini spotlight. Now, I saw this on Twitter. Trader Plus. Dynamic prices. Car lock, stock. Now, well, I've said quite a few times that I'm not a huge fan of AI traders, but I understand the need for them. And it's great to see someone doing something that adds a bit of variety to the trader aspect of the game, because let's face it, most of the popular servers have got AI traders on them, Marks.
Yep, 100%. It's what the people want.
Yeah. So definitely one to look at, folks. If you have a trader on your server, the trader has a stock value for each item that can be set. Once that value is reached, the trader won't accept this item anymore. Thanks to the stock value or stock feature, you're able to define a dynamic price based on the stock quantity. So higher is the stock, lower is the price. Buy and sell. Item conditions such as pristine, damaged, worn will reduce the price of the trade. Now item condition matters. Spud saying this is the same guy who does Toxic Zone and Red Zone. So cars can be packed with a wrench or pliers in order to get a receipt that can be sold as proof of ownership to the trader. It's great to see people still working, and yeah, 8-digit passwords for cars. I'm not so sure about that, but horses for courses. If that's what you want on your server, you can do it. Lock and unlock plays a sound. It's just great to see stuff like this coming out. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's a cool one by the looks of it.
Yeah. And like Spud said, it's a established modder as well, so yeah. And of course, I'll share it. Like most of them, sticks it right down the bloody end where no one can see it, where no one bothers to read. Has a PayPal and has a Patreon as well, folks. Only 4 patrons. Yet he's creating some of the most well-known mods. I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. Hopefully we'll eventually change people's mentality, Marks.
You will. It'll take time, but you'll get there.
Now, we talked about June before, and I said I was going to share his YouTube channel. Here it is, folks. Give him a sub over on YouTube. 395 subscribers. So, again, needs to hit that magical 1,000 subscriber mark and then achieve the... How many hours is it? Do you remember, Mark?
4,000.
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah, 4,000 view hours. So he needs to get the views up, but he's posting regularly. It looks like one video every week, which is smart. So definitely get on there, check him out. He's a good bloke. He's so easygoing. Just such a chill, relaxing stream to be a part of. And yeah, just one of my favourites. One of my favourites of the game. DayZ Twitter was pretty quiet this week.
Yeah.
And I do apologise, I didn't get a community for this week. Have you got a community you play on a lot, Marks?
Like server?
Yeah.
The ones I've been playing on the past month maybe now is the DayZ Rearm servers.
Really? I've never heard of them.
They're the Tarkov inspired.
Yep.
The Escape from Tarkov inspired servers. Been playing on there.
If you've got a link to their Discord, post it in chat.
I do. Hang on now. I think that might work. Let's see.
How did that video go?
On their server, I'll tell you now.
I think you said the other week that your video alone massively jumped their player numbers, didn't it?
So when I found that server via Twitter, and when I hopped onto it, they had between 10 and 17 players on it.
Mm-hmm.
and I made that video. It's now at 63,000 views in a month.
Wow.
And they have 2 servers now that are full 24/7, and they're both like between 60 and 90 slots, and they're both full constantly now. From that one video, like overnight, if you just even scroll down to it, it's the 4th most popular video you'll see. It 3rd row down, the first one. It's just, it took off like the 2 to 3 days after that video came out. Their server hit 100 players full, and there was a 70-player queue to get into the server. You were waiting 3 hours to get into that server if you didn't have Preo.
So give us the Soldiers 5 and the mate. What's the server about?
Basically, it just has an Escape from Tarkov kind of vibe in DayZ. So it has like rooms that are locked with keys, like in Tarkov, and there's certain bunkers and stuff in there that have key cards that you need to find to be able to get access to them. You get certain loot from that and stuff. It did have AI on it as well, up in Tissy, and there is an oil rig out on the coast of Churners that had AI on it as well. And the only way you get that oil rig is if you flew to it via helicopter. The AI had to be removed because it was crashing the server every couple of minutes, which was unfortunate because they were kind of cool. They have just custom guns, all different armor as well that they have in Tarkov, different plate carriers, that type of stuff. And they have traders, but their traders are not like every other trader where you can just run there, get the best guns in a matter of minutes, and then, you're sorted. The high tier guns you can only find in these certain loot rooms by finding these certain keys around the place. And it was just different. It made you, with having the keys and having to go to all these certain rooms, to give you the locations of the keys, you just had to adventure the map more, There's certain spots on that map that you might never think of going to, but with these keys, it would make you just adventure the map. And with the servers being full and people always adventuring, it's just constant PvP.
Yep.
All the time. And it's great if you're into that type of thing. Might be everybody's cup of tea, but it's pretty good.
Definitely worth checking out, folks. Anything that mixes it up, that makes it a bit different, is a win for DayZ. DayZ is a blank canvas that people can shape however they want, and if people like what you create, then it'll get populated. So definitely worth checking out. When are you going to do a hardcore video, mate? You seem to be having a bit of sway. When are you going to do a video on a hardcore server?
If there's a hardcore server that's unique, I might do it, but as of right now, there's nothing unique out there. Of right now.
If you've got something, hit Marks up on Twitter, folks. Let him know.
Has to be unique, though. Can't be just like an edited map and then call it unique. That's why this server became kind of so popular, because it was something totally different that you'd never seen before.
Yeah.
There's also one other thing you might notice, Spider. There's a thing called an IFAK. It's like a medical pouch, and basically, you can take this medical pouch, and say you're out and you get hit, and you're like red health. You take this medical pouch, and if you take it, it'll give you 40 health back. But if you drop it on the floor and give it to your teammate, and they give it to you, it gives you between 50 and 80 health back as well. So they're really cool things. Totally different like health system and stuff.
Yep.
It's quite cool.
That is a novel idea.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, folks, we are pretty much done for this week. Thank you all so much for coming along and joining us. Next week we have... Sorry, just had a DM. Next week on the show it's the players episode, but we're going to be joined by War Dog. There was some confusion there yet again. I've managed to screw things up, but there was some confusion about War Dog being on this week, but it worked out well because we had Bestius come back. So War Dog's going to be joining Mike Daone and Blunden. Now, Mike's really not so much a genuine player now. He's starting to dabble in some content creation. Featured in one of Wobo's videos, I think it was recently. Some of his content talked about the stun from being shot. But Mike Daone and Blunden will be joining us to talk about DayZ from a player's perspective, which is something that we're going to be doing every month, folks. Also, next week, quick shout out. I'm going to be doing a slightly longer stream next week because here in Australia it is Anzac Day, which is something very close to my heart, being an ex-serviceman myself, and I'm going to be doing a charity stream raising money for please tell me this could go there. Yep, for Wounded Heroes. They're a charity that I've done fundraisers for before. They provide immediate frontline assistance to veterans in crisis. So if you've got a few bucks spare, folks, if you could hold on to it, any donations made to the channel using my PayPal link down below at the end of the stream will be going to them. I'm asking anyone else around who can also do a charity stream, because I'll be going until around about 11 in the morning, and then jumping off to do my Anzac Day stuff as well. And I'll be passing the raid over to someone else who's streaming on the day to raise money for them. But they're a fantastic charity. In particular, I do their 8 for a Mate, which is $8 every month that goes to them. When I say they provide immediate frontline assistance, you're all probably aware of charities that you've got to apply for help, and then you've got to wait a few weeks, and then they get back to you as to whether your claim's been approved. Not these guys. If they hear about a veteran who's sitting in a car, homeless, got no money, can't buy food, or about to lose their house or anything like that, they will jump in a car, drive to them, take them to Macca's, buy them a feed, give them some vouchers for groceries, or do stuff right then and there on the spot. Just that sort of assistance, it's hard to get, and because they do it that way, it's impossible for them to get government funding as well. So they really do rely on people in the community to help fund them, whether it be through their op shop, their 8 for a Mate, or just other things they do, like their backyard sleep out, exercise stone pillow they call it. Anything you can do. They do also have a store where you can buy merch to support them. But I'll be doing that next week, folks. So please, if you've got a few dollars spare, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Being a veteran myself, and having been close to needing their support in the years gone by, thankfully I never have, and hopefully I never do. But it's great to see that sort of service out there for the veteran community. We're a messed up bunch of people, folks, us veterans. The Army has a great way of turning you into a soldier, but they can't turn you back into a normal person afterwards, and they change you. They change you a lot when they make you into a soldier, so it makes it very hard for people to fit back into the civilian life. Anyone who's ever served knows what I'm talking about. So Marks, I'll see you next week, mate.
Yep, see you next week as usual.
All the best, everyone, and ciao for now.
See you later.
My heart